Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Hey, welcome to the Idea Factory. This is the last one of the series, so I'm excited that you're going to be able to end the week with me. So welcome. All right, let me get this party started. All right. So, welcome. My name is Drew Demery. If I have not met you before, welcome to the Idea Factory. This is where basically we've done a four-part series on learning how to lead generate a little bit more fun, a little bit more creatively. So this is the last one in this series. So we're gonna get started. There's six of them today. We typically do two or three of them, and we got some fun ones to show you today. And then I will email you all of the presentations from the last 4 weeks, as well as all the tools and resources, website links, and all that. So have no fear about that. But you can take notes or screenshots as we go forward. So let's kind of do a little recap. There's a lot. I know you can't read all these crazy words on here, but we came up with 11 ideas so far. We have six more today, so we have 17 different ideas of ways that you can have fun in real estate and lead generate and reach out to people that you care about to get more referrals, right? So we went through expired listings where you could drop off some packets. So look back on previous session about that. Wow moment gifts, those kind of life-changing moments, gifts that can really make a connection with your client base. And then also always remembering those home anniversary gifts. Direct mail, we talked about keeping things sticky, and we gave you some ideas around that. The golden letter, bringing that to life and using a template, using vendors and a database of vendors, lifestyle vendors to connect with either a farm neighborhood or your database. And then we also talked about those kind of pop-by gifts, but maybe using it in more of a mailbox love, kind of an Amazon concept. And then open houses are definitely back, and we're doing more event style. We're seeing a lot more of that. And then going to a digital business card instead of a paper business card to capture some information from your consumers. And then the equity letter, which is basically sending out CMAs to all of your past sellers to let them know the values that are rising in the market. And then taking your client testimonials and kind of turning them up a notch and doing video testimonials as well as some client events. So the reason why I did a recap is that really one of the things as a coach that I find is it's not the lack of ideas that agents are having in their business, it's lack of implementation. So I want you to treat this kind of like a buffet, right? I want you to sample and taste some of the things that we've discussed over the last 4 weeks and find something that you enjoy, but that you'll stick with, right? I think one of the worst habits as any entrepreneur is they kind of hop around on these different, what I call lily pads, right? They're hopping to one shiny object to another. And so the challenge is finding consistency and execution, right? And so there's a kind of a simple quote that I love that says, stay focused and don't try to do too many things at once. Care about execution quality, right? So I think the biggest thing is it's definitely quality over quantity. The whole point of what Idea Factory was about is to inspire you to just get into action, right? To realize that the market is changing and that you're going to have to double down on sometimes the activities at certain points or start maybe a third or fourth lead funnel overall. All right. So we have a lot to cover in this amount of time because we want to respect your time. So we're going to jump right into the first one. So this one is near and dear to my heart. One of a fellow agent that I highly respect, Desiree. She is an expert at this. 70% of her business comes from agent referrals. But the idea is really to build this strategically, right? So, and quickly, right? So, one of the things that I would definitely tell you to do is that figure out where people are moving away from and moving to. So, we all pay as realtors, we pay for the National Association of Realtors, and they actually have a migration pattern. So, you literally, if you Google NAR migration trends, it will literally get you to this spot. It's a publicly um, it's a public website, and it actually shows you the trends of where people are moving to and where they're moving away from. And so that might be a great way it kind of goes through the statistics, it goes different things. But these are the things, it even tells you like different areas. that people are moving from. And we're on the East Coast, obviously DC, 72%. And then it kind of even goes into very specific cities where businesses and things are. The reason why I bring that up is I don't want you to just kind of randomly go through this process. I definitely think I want you to go through this. I always coach anyone to build a database of 100 referral agents, right? And so these are agents that are not inside your local market, but they're connections inside that. So the beautiful thing is that with technology, there's a lot of closed Facebook groups for referrals, and I'm a part of them as a realtor, and you may be as well. The biggest thing, though, is that the agents in our coaching program are being very strategic and direct messaging agents within those groups to either set up like a 15-minute virtual coffee to kind of get to know them, to see if their vibe and their energy and their alignment makes sense for them. And it's just a way to build that 100 very quickly. So between the NER migration pattern and the Facebook groups that you may have already been, make sure you're connecting with that. And then, of course, they need your business cards, so make sure you're sending thank you notes after that, right? So we also build into a touch program inside of this, where an item of our referral agents get 2 times a year some small local gift, right? So the biggest takeaway that I think Desiree was sharing with us a few 6 to 8 months ago when she was in a training with us is that it's really not about your brokerage or your brand itself. It's really about branding or identifying to them the area that you're in, right? So the photo that you're seeing of her right now on the screen, she's not standing in front of where she lives, that Mount Pleasant area, by accident. So really the thing is that when you're sending a couple items of value, sending something local, right? So in our market, it's Richmond, Virginia. So sending them a postcard or something local in the mail, right? A coffee mug, something like that, right? So don't go crazy with branding your stuff and then mailing it to them or your brokerage, because to be honest, they're branding themselves in their brokerage, right? So really they want something that thinks, wow, Drew lives in Richmond, Virginia, and I need a referral. Also, may be obvious, but they don't know suburbs outside of Richmond, Virginia, for example, right? So every city, every town has these little suburbs. Like in Richmond, we have Midlothian and we have Short Pump, and we have little suburbs that aren't even quote real. It's just kind of local slang, right? Short Pump, right? So make sure you're communicating with them all of those suburbs or those slang neighborhoods, like the Fan and Museum District, things like that. Because as their future clients are talking about where they're relocating, we want to trigger that, again, that mind share, right? I also want to make sure that you're sending items value emails. So one client specifically sends, she does these cute like little pop by tags that she sells on Etsy to other realtors. So she always includes a pop by tag every month, right? So they get the email, they remember who she is. And oh, by the way, you can download this cute pop by tag. I have another client that always gives a recap or a checklist of an event that she did. So she's giving some educational advice that the agent can use in their marketplace, right? So making sure we do that. This photo is a prime example of what we call the colored envelope. So this photo, she actually does this every single time that she sends a referral out. And she has a particular color. Her color is blue. So it's like blue envelope hashtag. I've seen people use purple and green and orange, right? And let's be honest, we know that the referral commission already went electronically to the agent, right? So this envelope really has a thank you note. It does have a copy of the closing disclosure so they know the transaction process. It doesn't have a real check in it, right? But it's really the gratitude of obviously the agent connecting with them. But really what it's doing is she's coaching and showing her her consumer base on social media that she works outside of her market. She can refer them, they can refer her, people that don't live in her state and her county, right? So I think it's genius to do that hashtag colored envelope post to really show strategically that she is working by referral. And then number one thing I would say that we can see consistently, our clients are very strategic on going to out of area training conferences, right? Whether it's your brokerage conference, whether it's the coaching and training program that you believe in. But the key thing is don't hang out with the people that you know, make sure you're hanging out with people you don't know, exchanging those business cards, adding them to your database, building them to your referral partners and things like that, right? We also have agents that we coach actually host a quarterly virtual mastermind or an annual mastermind where they get all their agent referral partners together and they have a panel discussion. Zoom is amazing for that. So that's an opportunity to, again, continue to add value. And you're thinking, why would I do that? Well, we know agent referrals vary based on percentages, right? But that's a cost of sale. So it doesn't cost you anything to build relationships, and only costs you that percentage when they give you the referral. So I will tell you personally, when I pass a name and a phone number and I receive 2-3 months later $1,500, $2,000 check, in my brain, that's like passive income, right? I didn't do anything to cultivate or nurture that relationship. I literally handed someone a name and a phone number, right? I have another client that's really into this, and she hosts at least 2 to 3 appointments virtually through coffee. So she actually sets up through Calendly or You Can Book Me, and she schedules those. So I don't know if you've ever heard of You Can Book Me. I wanted to show this to you. I use it because I know that we go back and forth with, oh, what time do you want to meet? 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right? And it's kind of annoying, right? So the cool thing is that if you are in fact going to be using agent referrals, sometimes it's just good to have, right? So this is, you could do a little Zoom with Drew, right? And so the cool thing is you can set these up, it links directly with your calendar. And then when you can block out certain times. So let's just say with agent referrals, these coffees, you only want to do Monday and Tuesday, right? So you can go in here systematically inside the admin settings and change that. So then when they click on the time, they fill out the information, it automatically, once you set it up properly in your settings, it'll connect with Zoom and send them a Zoom link. So it sends you a Zoom link, them a Zoom link, it sends you a reminder calendar invite, same with them. So the cool thing about these 15-minute virtual appointments is that she is really cranking through them, right? So she's having these virtual coffee appointments with agents across the country, 2 to 3 a week. You know what? She does them in her car sometimes when she's in between appointments. She's just rolling through the day. Some of them, honestly, they don't show up. Agents sometimes get busy and cancel or forget about the appointment. But you know what? It's a free opportunity to connect with humans. So I think the first idea is, what does your agent referral database look like? If it's got 4 or 5 people in there, it's not large enough. If you are only in certain geographical locations, how do you get to the point where you're really covering most of the United States are connected to the migration pattern inside NAR? So that's the first one. And then number 2. So we're all members of these Facebook closed groups. Yet, I just did a simple Google search the other day. Having a client VIP closed group is genius, right? So you'll see some of them are larger, 400, 200, 900, right? But a lot of my clients that I coach have closed VIP client books, and they're anywhere between 40 to 60 to 80 people of past clients. This is where you really can teach the behavior of the referral, right? Because sometimes when we're posting on our public Facebook or Instagram pages, we are really just catering to a wider audience, right? We're trying to capture and possibly new leads. When you have a closed Facebook group, it's really an intimate like conversation with them, right? So key 3 things: no posting about new listings or just sold, no tips on how to buy or sell real estate inside this closed group, and no open houses or seminar posts, right? We want to make it a love fest for your VIP closed clients, right? So we want you to obviously add your past clients. I also have seen coaching clients add preferred vendors where it can add value inside that group. But this is all about having fun in this group, and it's about being strategic. So these are 7 or 8 posts that we tend to see. Holiday contests, like tree decorating contests. I had someone that did Halloween costume a Halloween costume contest. So they asked their client base to post the photos of their kids during Halloween or adults. And then they drew put a name, all the names into a hat, and then gave them a gift card, right? So engagement posts, giveaways. The one that I see the most engagement is those renovation posts, right? So most of the clients in this closed group are going to be people that you honestly sold a house to, right? So maybe they renovated the kitchen, or they took the 4th bedroom and made it a nursery, right? So showing those renovations, and then again doing some type of raffle or drawing. Swag giveaways, we a lot of times see this connected to like whether it's like a theme of the month, or maybe you got some cool swag and t-shirts, cups, things like that, making a fun game. Vendor spotlights, right? Featuring your vendors and saying, hey, I just found a new hardwood floor guy. He does an amazing job. Here's some information. This is the key one. Thank you for the referral. So obviously, I have a lot of clients that work hugely by referral. Well, the thing is that we don't actually, the consumer doesn't know that, other than statistically, you're like, oh, 90% of my business comes from referrals, right? Well, that's great, but how great would it be to actually thank the family that gave you that other buyer, right? So doing thank you posts, client invites, that's is where it all lives, right? The evite lives in there, the after photos showing how fun it was, um, things like that. Milestones, birthdays, graduations, home anniversaries, all posted inside this closed Facebook group. And then any like nonprofit or connections to food drives or donations that may be connected. So we think about these groups. I think the biggest thing is engagement, right? You can create this group, and I don't know if you've ever looked in there, but if you look inside groups, it literally will tell you how often people are posting in there. We need to be actively posting in there. So this needs to be part of your scheduled social media posts, but it needs to be strategic. It doesn't need to be those traditional ones that you put on your external pages. So seeing a huge position for this, like this one, 963 members, 10 posts a day. Obviously, that's a very large, this is a wellness, not even real estate. But you can see how many posts, 5 posts a day here, private group, VIP lounge, right, with Maria, right? So these are just some fun examples, 4 posts a day of engagement in that connection piece. It's just another way to touch your database and to teach them that referral behavior, okay? All right. Well, now we want to talk about Google. So a lot of people constantly are asking me, which type of referral, or sorry, which type of like review is better? Is it Zillow? Is it Realtor.com? Well, I will tell you universally from everybody that I can see, and data analytics, everybody from real estate to non-real estate, Google runs the world, right? So if I were to say to focus on one, it would be getting your Google business page up and running and really, really strong, because really, honestly, people just Google random stuff, everything from a burrito to a real estate agent. So I took this screenshot, real estate agents in Atlanta, Georgia, and these agents popped right up, right? So that is something to remember. So you're thinking, how do I know if I have a Google business page? Well, if you haven't set it up, you don't have one. They're free, but it is a couple step process. So essentially what happens, let's just kind of, let me just show you real quick. So you're in Google World, and if you just type yourself out, so I'm going to type us out. Right? You can see that I have a business page because you can see this. If it doesn't show up, if it just shows up things on the left-hand side, it doesn't show this box on the right-hand side, then it means you don't have a business page. All right. So the cool thing is it's pretty easy to set up. Inside everybody's Google account. So the Google account is like a Gmail account. You're going to have what we call the business profile manager. And I won't do the whole class today because we don't have a lot to it. But basically, you're going to go inside this business profile manager, and there is a setting that you actually set this up, and they actually mail you or they send you a code because they want to verify that you're a real person and a real business. Once it's set up, then you will be able to get the reviews. You actually be able to create, they have a link that's customized to you forever, and this is what you'll use. So biggest thing is that I want you to take that Google review link and I want you to use it. I want you to text, email, things like that. Other thing that we have seen is that we have seen people, really agents, using this prior to closing. I think for some reason, we kind of have this mindset of, oh, once we do our job, we get the review, right? Well, we want to create the experience. We want to have an experience review, meaning as you're going through the transaction, right? We want to see how they're doing. And if you've been in real estate for more than a couple transactions, they love you right around the home and right around the under contract phase, right? That's where the honeymoon phase is. As the home inspection, other contingencies, the stress of getting their financing worked out towards the end of it, that's actually not the best time to ask for referrals. So what we're seeing is a higher conversion rate if you're asking for referrals inside the honeymoon phase, which is right at under contract, right? So a text message or an email to them very simply that says, congratulations, you're under contract. I'm so excited. Hey, while we're kind of in the beauty of this moment, I would love to just get feedback on how your transaction with me has come so far. If you could just click on this link and give me a quick review on what your journey has been like so far, I would really appreciate that. Of course, that would be ideal. If not, then we would do it at the closing table. We have seen people do, let me see if I can. We've also seen people do these really cool, like basic flyers with QR codes. And we've actually sent them, I should have had this pulled up, apologize. Look at all this stuff I got in here. Something like this. So they took that Google review or Zillow review or Realtor.com review and they created a QR code. And everybody knows that you can create your own QR code in Google World. I mean, in Canva, right? Because you can just do it through the apps. And then you can literally just embed the QR code. So all I'm going to do is add the URL and then it'll pop in there. So basically what you're doing is you're creating this flyer. So then you're going to send this to your closing attorney or closing company, and they're going to print it part of the packet, right? Some of the benefits of that is because it's that third party approach, right? So they're going through the transaction. And oh, by the way, your realtor needs you to fill up the survey, pull out your phone and scan this QR code, right? Something very simple, but something very effective that again, you can use going forward. So just another idea of really connecting you to future consumers. All right, so we all heard about client parties, but what we're seeing now more than ever is to have a housewarming party for your clients. Now, we know that this is not for everyone. Some people are pretty private, but if you know that your buyer is a social person, this might be an opportunity to do a housewarming party for them. So I'll tell you, I have one particular one that she knocks it out of the park. She's like, does at least one of these a month. And so she creates a digital invite for them. She caters them. She does give them parameters, so she's not spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So she gives them two choices. She gives them like, this is the budget. If you want to go beyond that budget, then that's all on you as far as paying the difference. She does create these small little take-home gifts, kind of like if you're at a baby shower or wedding shower, right? That they're connected to with her business card. She writes all the thank you notes to all those who attended. She hires a photographer, or honestly, she has one of her teenage daughters goes with her and just takes photos with using her phone. So she's interacting with the families and friends. She posts that event and she posts and tags friends that are connected through the family through social media. And the last kind of fun thing that I've noticed is then the house is wrecked, right? They have this new house through a party, now it's wrecked. So she has an agreement with the housekeeper. That is a vendor that she uses consistently that gives us a really good discount to clean the house directly after the event. So the cool thing about this is that you're already in connection with people by referral, but now you're literally sitting in their living room with their mom, their grandma, their aunt, and their cousins. So housewarming parties for buyers are definitely something to connect with. Doesn't mean you have to do it every month. Doesn't mean you have to do it with every client, but it's a strategic way to build more relationships and get more leads. All right, so then we're talking about events, right? We have these client events that we often hear about, but a lot of agents are doing what we call micro events. And I think this is right up the alley that most people are going through. I don't know about you, but sometimes as an adult, we have what we call like this social anxiety, where when you go into a party and you don't know anybody in the party and there's lots of people, you kind of either don't show up or you have anxiety connected to it. So some of these micro events, these started actually right after COVID kind of hit. After COVID ended, and they really have picked up steam, right? So it's 6, 8, 10 people, not a lot of people, and you do an event, right? So I had someone that did a candle making event. I had another client do like a potting, like plant event. And so it's for your VIPs. It's for your agents, your referral base that has given you a lot of referrals, right? That's what I would recommend. It doesn't have to be a lot of people. Well, one of the key takeaways is having them invite one additional guest, right? So if you're going to make, let's say, 4 people and have them all invite guests, then, that gets a good size pretty quickly, right? So I think this is a great idea to slow things down, to have much more intentional conversations with people. Because I'll tell you, as a person that does client events and agents that I know that do them in their client base, it's hard to get around through the client's party because there's just so many people pulling and yanking at you that these micro events might be memorable experience, and they're honestly a little bit easier to control budget wise. You going into it with kind of a thoughts and expectations of what's happening. Right, how are we doing on time? Oh, 5 minutes. Okay. So this one is an amazing idea that came out of actually the Midwest, coaching someone in the Kentucky region. So this is not about a one-day event, but it's actually what we call the Call Me campaign. So this is a completely online process, and it basically takes 2 weeks, social media marketing, digital marketing, text messages, emails, to rally up your base of your community, specifically your database, and you actually do a drawing, right? So a Blackstone, looked one up last night, they're like $300 at Walmart, right? So maybe potentially partnering with another vendor like a title or a mortgage company or a home inspector, right? And then you can double the size of your database and your reach inside social media. I will say this, all caps. You cannot say enter to win if you give me a referral. You have to be RESPA compliant. That is not okay. What this is just a gratitude to show appreciation for supporting you, obviously. So it literally could be going to someone that has never worked with you ever and never has intentions to work with you, right? But it's in a way to build a 14-day touch plan that's very intense, scripts, social media drafts, to make sure they tell everyone. But the key is have fun with it. We've also seen this used several situations where it's brokerage based or team based. So it's a great like team building event. It's a great lead generation. It almost reminds me of like a telethon back in the day, right? So it's literal conversations. It's not text messages, not direct messages. So you call them on a certain day, Tuesday, the 14th at 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock, right? Block enough time, at least 4 hours to get these calls in, and text and call people to get them to rally behind you. And then, of course, have those genuine conversations. If referrals come up, of course, you want to take care of that referral. And then draw their name and have a winner live on social media. So the Call Me campaign is very successful. I have many clients build it into their marketing plan twice a year. Sometimes in those sleepy months, whether it's right at the beginning of the new year or it's right in the summer months where people are kind of out and about and not able to come to physical client events, this is a way to drum up some activity in those kind of months that have low attendance. Okay. And that leads us to the end, right? So this has been super fun, but we're going to continue. But now we're going to take a little twist on the Idea Factory. Starting next week, we're still going to be same time, same day. So Friday at 10 a.m. But starting September 1st, which can you believe it, y'all, next week is September? That's insane to me. We're going to do Leadership Idea Factory. So this is going to dive really into systems that we have seen top producing real estate agents and teams do to be systematic with their conversations with their buyers and sellers, conversations with their agent leadership team, people part of their community. It's also time management, because I know we get a little stressed up as leaders, whether it's we're a single parent or leading a team or leading ourselves, for God's sakes, right? So the next 4 sessions, the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd, is all about leadership skills. So ideas, hacks, just things that we can do to simplify our lives so we can be better leaders for ourselves, our family, our community, and our businesses. So I hope you continue to do that. I'll drop that link into the social media and email feeds for signups. But that's kind of the lay of the land. And that leads us to, 1 more minute. And if you need to reach out to me, this is, again, a connection to what I just talked to. You can book me. This is a QR code. So scan this if you feel like you are ready to go to the next level in your business and need some coaching. Or if you would like to ever join one of our goal setting workshops, we have, I think at this point, we have 16 scheduled. So we have them in different, actually multiple states. We have them in multiple locations and times, which we'll be posting those. So if you want to attend one of our workshops, we'd love to have you. And then if you need a training for your team, please reach out. Otherwise, have a great Friday. Enjoy the last week before Labor Day, heading into September. And I'll talk to you guys soon. And remember, I'll email all of the links, the recordings, the presentations, everything will come to you in an email. So have no fear. And that will be it. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Have a great day.